Welcome to the video. So today I'm talking about self-awareness and why it's so important for relaxed sprinting and why it's really, really important if you're an athlete, 400-meter athlete, sprinter, even distance runner, whatever you're doing in whatever sport. Self-awareness is really, really important. So what is self-awareness? Basically, it's being aware of your characteristics, your feelings and your thoughts that you have. So it's being able to actually separate yourself from the thoughts and feelings that you have, and you be able to observe them. That's what being self-aware is. It's something that it's an understanding that you are not your thoughts and you are not your feelings. You are basically a being in the here and now without the thoughts and thinking. Thinking's great, but it should be used at a very limited level and at a different level. But what you are, that's the essence of actually you, is you here and now, not thinking and just living in the here and now. So the thoughts and feelings are having, self-awareness has actually been observing these thoughts that come in. And it's also understanding that the thoughts are what happen to us. Thoughts are things that happen to us. We're not initiating the thoughts. So we have to be able to control the thoughts that come in, and they're non-avoidable. Their thoughts will come in throughout life. You can't shut off completely thoughts. You can't stay in the here and now constantly, although we can overwhelming amount of the time. And we can limit the amount of constant thinking, the chronic thinking that we do. Chronic thinking is very, very important. Now, it's very important for sprinting fast because it's the chronic thinking that's tightening you up in relaxed sprinting when you're sprinting. Those sprinting PBs you have when you ran faster than ever before, it wasn't because of your thinking. A lot of the times, and actually I remember, you can go to this video here where I ask you how you feel, and a lot of that, the people are coming back to me and saying, I can't remember what it felt like, or one or two people are saying, I can't really remember what it felt like. And do you know why you can't remember what it felt like? Because you weren't thinking at the time. You weren't constantly in the mind. And that's one of the biggest things. You've got to get out of your mind. And when the chronic thinking, the stuff that we don't initiate, it actually happens to us and it overcomes us, then it's very difficult to remain self-aware of it. We can get consumed by these thoughts and we start to believe them. And that's why the so what phrase that I use in this video, that I talk about in this video, is so important for sprinting fast. Self-awareness is something that you need to practice. Self-awareness is something that leads to growth, and you need to grow as an individual to become a better athlete. It's not just physically training, constantly training, the physical training, the next core exercise, gym training. Yes, you need to do that consistently, but it's not the training you do that's so important. It's the state you are in as you do the training. And that's the one thing that takes practice outside of your training. Outside of your training is where you need to be self-aware and look at where I can become a better individual. To grow means to actually look at the stuff, the weaknesses in your character, nullify them so they're not there, so you can become a more serene, calm, peaceful state, peaceful person. Not so much a happy person, and that's an emotion that's fleeting in most people, but bring more peace into your life. So you can actually look at those thoughts that come in, the challenges that come in, and the thoughts that come from those challenges, because the thoughts are going to prompt from those challenges, and be able to not get drawn in by them, and so you can actually stay focused. And this is the training you need to do, because this is what's going to help you on the start line of a major championship, when you can actually remain focused and not get drawn in by the thinking of what you have to do. What do I have to do? And constantly focusing on that is the thinking that's going to just tighten you up. It really will tighten you up. Your body knows what it wants to do. You know what you want to do. You don't have to constantly think about it. Keeping low out of the blocks. Stop thinking about it and you'll do it intentionally. If you're relaxed, your body will move naturally in its way, in its own way, to get that best start out of the blocks. But once you're thinking about it, that's when you start to tighten up, and then you're going to lose that instinctive way the body wants to function. So self-awareness helps you look at the things, the thoughts that are coming in, the feelings that come from those thoughts, the challenges and the thoughts that come from those challenges and the feelings that comes from those thoughts, because it's a chain reaction. Once you're self-aware, you can actually start to see that. And once you're on the start line, once you've got that power, then you can really, really, really sprint fast and sprint to your potential. And you don't even know where your potential is. It's lack of thinking. I go to this video here where I ask you guys, I'd go and do it, start thinking about this. What did it feel like to run your fastest race? I go to this video and put it down and just, it's a minute-long video. I just ask you, how did it feel like? And it's the feeling that you had during that race. That's important. And a couple of the people have come back on that comments and saying, I don't remember. It's because you weren't thinking that and you were letting your body do its thing. That's one of the things you've got to come from. Why can't I remember my fastest 200? It's because I just let my body do what it was supposed to. And that's what a lot of the greatest performers is, that the athletes can't remember the race because they just allowed their body to do their job. It wasn't because they were someplace else. It's because they just allowed their body to do their job. And that's one of the biggest things the athletes have got to do. You've got to consistent train, but you've got to allow your body to be loose and free and able to do its job. Self-awareness leads to growth, which leads you to do this and do this more consistently, to bring this on demand. Because if you don't become self-aware and you don't grow as an individual, then you're leaving it to chance. You're leaving those major championships, which as a sprinter and a 400-meter runner, you need to get right. Well, you want to get right. It's very high priority to get it right because that's what you're training for. You train for months and months for that fleeting 10 seconds, that 45 seconds to 50 seconds. That's what you train for. And it's not enough time during that to correct it. So you better get the mindset in the right state in practiced, so it becomes your core, so you can actually initiate it in the times when it's most pressured. And the times when it's most pressured are the times when you want something, you want a goal so much. And that time when there's a limited window for you to do it. And that's sprinting as a 200-meter runner, 100-meter, those 20 seconds, 21 seconds, those 10 seconds, 11 seconds. That's the time, that short window when you want to achieve, where you focus all that achievement. So you want to have the right state, the right feeling to actually do that, to put you in the best shape so you can do that. So hopefully that video gives you a greater understanding. Become self-aware so you can separate yourself from the thoughts that tighten you up. The chronic obsessive thinking tightens you up. The constantly thinking, I've got to keep low, out of the blocks, I've got to do this, got to do that, I've got weakness, I've got to work on this. It's constant thinking is just tightening you up. You've got to let that go. Self-awareness helps that. Keeping in the here and now and trust the process. Trust your body to find a way. Relaxation for sprinting is helping the body find its own way of doing it, find its own natural way of doing it. And that's really, really important. So hopefully that video gives you great understanding. Go back on my videos, the breathing, the mind-body connection videos, all the breathing exercises, the 3 ways to bring relaxation to your sprinting. The other videos, all of these about helping you become more self-aware and separating yourself from the things that tighten you. It's really, really simple. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.